This week we got huge digital releases, plus don't miss your last chance to see Like Arrows in theaters for this exciting Fathom event. I've got all the news and information about all of that, and this week's pick of the week right now on Christian Cinema Weekly. Alright guys, I have super big news for you, news that is of biblical proportions. You guys remember back in January and February I was talking about a film called Samson? Of course you do, because Christian Cinema Weekly is obviously the highlight of your week, right? Great! Now you can watch Samson from the comfort of your own home because it's available on demand right now at christiancinema.com. Samson is the epic film that came out back in February, and it follows the roller coaster life of the biblical judge named, wait for it, Samson. You guessed it. If you want to know more about his story, you can grab your Bible and flip to Judges 13 through 16. Actually, if you want to avoid spoilers for the film, then you might want to read it after you see the movie, but I do highly recommend reading it at some point. In fact, I highly recommend reading all the stories in the Bible. It's a good read. That's my book recommendation for this week. We'll start a little Kevin's Book Club. All right, well, it's one thing to have a major Christian theatrical release come out on the platform of Christian Cinema, but this week we've got two that are out right now that you can check out. The other one is the film Let There Be Light. You might remember this film came out in October of last year and it generated a lot of buzz. It was produced by Sean Hannity and directed by Kevin Sorbo. Let There Be Light tells the story of a prominent atheist who dies in a car accident. That's not the end. In fact, that's just the beginning. He gets into a car crash and is clinically dead for 4 minutes. But his experience within those 4 minutes radically changed the trajectory of his life. Let There Be Light tells a tale of forgiveness and transformation that only the gospel can bring. The gospel that can be found in this week's book recommendation, the Bible. All right, well, I mentioned a few weeks ago, but I wanted to remind you that tomorrow is the last day to see Like Arrows in theaters for this Fathom event. This film is the team up of Family Life and the Kendrick brothers about the tough but rewarding journey of parenting. It's showing in theaters as a special 2-day Fathom event. So check out fathomevents.com to see if it's playing in your area and get those tickets. All right, well, it is the time that everybody is waiting for every week, and that is, of course, the Christian Cinema Pick of the Week. And this week's Pick of the Week is the heart of man. Well, if you're human, which I'm making an assumption that you probably are, chances are you've done some bad things in your life. Is God ashamed of you? Are you beyond redemption? Will your sin cut you off from God forever? Well, you might answer yes, especially if you've dealt with the deep shame of sexual sin. But God says no. It's true. And you could learn all about that if you read my excellent book recommendation, the Bible, which I mentioned earlier. Your brokenness is a bridge, not a barrier. And that's exactly the message of the film, The Heart of Man. Now, I will say that this movie is rated PG-13, so maybe don't watch it with the little ones, but it has a solid message that I think many of you will really appreciate. If you want to check that out, or any of the digital releases that came out this week, and there's a lot of big ones, then you can go to christiancinema.com or check it out in the Christian Cinema app. Okay, and one more thing about my awesome book recommendation, which is of course slam-packed with amazing stories of God working throughout the history of mankind. So, my question today is, what's your favorite passage of the Bible? I'd love to know, and I'd love to hear how it's impacted your life. Let me know in the comments below. All right, that's all I've got to say for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest news surrounding faith and film, then please hit that subscribe button. I'm Kevin. Have a great week.